Hi there, this is Amanda Frankel with our Crafty Playdate, and today I am going to make this adorable sweet card for you from one of our Celebration sets. Celebration is a special that Stampin' Up! Has every year. It runs from January 3rd to March 31st, and in it, it has a bunch of different items. It has some accessories, although this one is sold out right now, guys, because we just blew it out the first couple of days. But it's got some stamp sets. It's got paper. This paper is actually a whole lot prettier in person than it is in this book, so don't trust it. It's got some wood accessories, but a lot of stamp sets, and it even has foil paper. This foil paper is to die for. We'll do another card with that one soon, I promise. And it even has some framelits. So what Celebration is, it's a special that runs every year that when you place an order for $50 or more, and it can be from this catalog or our annual catalog, whatever's active. It even can be clearance rack stuff. Whenever you place a $50 order, you get to pick something out of here for free. There are a couple things in the back that are like level 2. They call them level 2. This stamp set is a level 2. It's just a lot more detailed, as you can see. And so is that framelit set that I showed you. That's a level 2. So those are with a $100 purchase. You can get them for free. But everything else in here, $50. And you can get some adorable stuff, including this stamp set. So again, that's this one here. It's called Hello Cupcake. It's highlighted because this is my copy, as you can see, and I highlight stuff as I receive it so that I don't get it twice, because sometimes I love it so much. Twice is nice. I order it twice. You know how that goes. But we're going to make this card today, and I want to show you some tricks. So if you haven't made one of these before, and even if you have, stay tuned, because I want to show you a trick. If you love somebody even more than a person that you would send this card to, I have a trick to send something even better to them. All right, so hang in there. We are going to start, I'm going to set this right up here. We are going to start with Berry Burst. This is one of my favorite cardstocks colors, and it's one of the ink colors that will be retiring. So if you don't own this color, if you don't own any of the retiring colors, they will be retiring at the end of May. And if you don't get replacement ink or ink refills and you have these colors, you're going to be sad, sad, sad when they retire and you are unable to get them. You're going to hear me turning my ink pad list here because you know what I didn't do? I didn't grab the ink for you. All right, so this is a piece of Berry Burst cardstock, and as you can see, it's a normal 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock that we would always use for card making. And normally we would cut it here, right? We would cut it this way and make it long like this. This one, we are cutting it the long way. So now its length is still 11, 8.5 by 11. It's still 11, but it's 4 1/4 wide, okay? And you can see that it's cut here, but before you even cut it, you're going to want to score it because that makes your life easier. If you're a person like me who does not like to use a scoreboard, if you prefer to just fold it in half for your center score of a card, then you definitely want to do that before you cut your part off. Okay, so it would look like that. Yay, beautiful. So you would do that first before you even cut it, because if you cut your piece off first, you can't just fold it and find the spot. You would have to measure it and mark it and score it, maybe with your trimmer. I don't like to do that. Okay, so I've cut my piece, or I folded my piece in half, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to just turn it around. My fold is here. I'm going to put this in here, and I'm going to line up my fold right here with 2 3/4. No, I'm not. I'm lying to you. I'm going to stick it this way because I'm crazy. Put my fold out. Line it up at 2 3/4. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Okay, 2 3/4. And I am going to cut it off. You love me because I'm crazy. I know. If I weren't crazy, you would not even like me as much. This is the piece I've got left. I'm going to set that aside. This piece right here that is now 4 1/4 by 2 3/4 wide, I'm going to make a 2 3/4 square. All right. I'm going to save this. I need this piece. I don't need this piece. But would we ever say that that's a waste? No, of course not. We would make something adorable out of it. Right now, we're not going to do that. Okay. So I've got this piece and this piece. There are a couple other layering pieces. See how that worked? That's that piece that's going to go right here. Look, it's right here. I didn't even need to use framelits for that, although I could have. Speaking of framelits, we could bring in all that stuff now too. Let's see here. We are going to use our, yeah, I don't remember what these are called either. Layering, that's it, layering squares. And it comes in a set like this, right? And I just pulled off the one that I need for the white. That is the white piece right there. If I didn't want to cut it with my trimmer, which I did because I wanted that whole piece gone, I could have just grabbed the next in line nesting size and cut that out with that, right? I could have just cut that out with that. But instead, I didn't need to because it was a simple, easy peasy cut while I had it out. But these are great. Half of them are scallops, half of them are not. That way you can layer them up. They look great. I could put the scallop on the outside and a straight one on the inside too. Also adorable. So this is what I used here. This is a framelit, and I showed you this last time, but just so you know, every one of our framelits now has the item number right here engraved on it. So if this ever gets misplaced, it's super easy for me to just look back on the numbers on my the item number on my in my catalog, or I can even just enter this on the website and it'll tell me what it is. Okay, or right here, this is the number here that you'll find with the barcode. Okay, so I've already cut that out for you, and it's here. That's what we're going to stamp on. This is going to be our layering piece that we just trimmed off of here, remember? And now I just need these couple other pieces, so let's pull those out. I am going to list the measurements here for you, so don't panic, and you don't have to rush or pause me 6 times, but you're welcome to. This is a normal size panel, so this is going to be 4 by 5 1/4, just a normal size panel, and that's going to go in here, right? I'm not going to put it in yet because I am going to stamp on it, and if I glue it down, I'm going to stamp it wrong. If I don't glue it down, then I'll stamp it perfectly correctly. You know how that goes. This piece right here is just a layering piece that would fit right here. So it's also 4 by 2 1/2. Okay, and it's going to fit right here like that. See that? Okay. And then I can, you know what? That I can go ahead and glue. So why don't I do that while I'm talking to you? So this is a piece of white, just a layering piece. If you didn't want to use this much white, you could hollow it out with one of our new stitched rectangles, and then you would have another piece that you could use for a sentiment later. I know, it sounds cheap, but it's really not. You know what? In this economy, a lot of people are trying to find ways to kind of maximize their crafting dollars, and I'm all for it. Nobody would ever know if you had that hollowed out, if you cut it out with a framelit before hand. Okay, and then you're going to use this. This paper is seriously to die for. It is a pattern. It's in the annual catalog, so you're not going to find it in the holiday catalog or the occasions catalog. It is the designer series paper. This one is the 2017 to 2019 in colors. So it has a lot of sheets each of every in color. These are the colors, by the way, that will be retiring in May that I was talking about. So this is Tranquil Tide, and this is something fig, fresh fig. had to look at it, something fig. Yeah, that's it, fresh fig. This is the Berry Burst that we're using, and there are 2 different styles. See, there's that one, that's the back, and then there's this one that we are using with the white polka dots and the white stripes. It's back here. It's the last piece because I loved it too much. Loved it too much. There you go. And then this is powder pink, and this is lemon lime twist. And if you like these colors, get them while they're hot. And this paper is a great accessory, and we almost never waste any of it at all because that's how we roll around here. This piece right here is going to be 2 inches by 3 3/4. It's a little narrower than here because 2 inches means this is a 6 by 6. So I can get 4 of them out of here, right? I can cut off 2 inches here, and then 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. Awesome. So I can get 4 of these out of each sheet, which is awesome because I can make several cards. Okay, so I'm just going to layer that up. And I'm an eyeballer. If you're a measurer, feel free to measure or use your grid paper. If your grid paper makes you happy, use it. Grid paper always makes me happy, but I don't use it for measuring too very often. All right, the next thing is I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping because look at this. I'm really seriously almost done. All right, move glue all these little parts off to the side and cover my glue. Okay, so I'm sorry, I'm going to shake here for just a second here. See if I can get that warning to go away. Okay, sorry, it's a warning to me, not to you. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do my stamping. We are going to use Berry Burst ink. This is the retiring one. I have already ordered my refill because when I order a color for the first time, I order the refill right away. And I'm also going to use my crumb cake. Crumb cake is going to be the base of my cupcake, and the Berry Burst is going to be my frosting because, yeah, of course, I am going to use a Stampin' Pierce mat. And the reason that I'm doing that is because these stamps in this set, this Hello Cupcake stamp set, are photopolymer, which means they are clear and have no sponge between the stamping block and the actual ink. So I want to make sure that I don't. I want to make sure that I get a good image, and so I'm going to ink it up here. And it's just a light tap, tap, tap. It's not a heavy mash, 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 right? You know the difference, right? I'm going to do that super low. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I'm going to lift. Beautiful. All right. The next thing, this swoopy part is actually a two-parter. There's this one that actually has the ridge in it. You know what I mean by that? The little rick-rack ridge. So you might get the top of my head in here while I get over it to angle it in. Yeah, maybe you won't. All right, so you just kind of angle that in the teeth of the paper. Good, and it doesn't have to be exact because it's still so stinking cute. Who cares, right? And now I'm going to do the big Dairy Queen swoopy part. And it comes over it like this. And if it overlaps a little, that's okay. But you know, I can still see it through there. Can you see that through there? All right, so I can see it a little bit. And it goes on there. I went a little high, but who cares? I love it. Okay, if I didn't love it, I'd just do this. And I do it all again. But I do it faster because that's who I am. All right, let's go a little faster. See if we can go faster. I'll go lower on this. Maybe that'll help. Okay. And zigzag piece that I did the sound effects for last time. Ooh, I like that one even better. Maybe it is the Stampin' Gods telling me I was right to try it again. What do you think, everybody? He's really, I don't know. Okay, we're gonna go with this one. I don't know. I got a little ink there, didn't I? I had it on my block. Opportunity for embellishment. I'll put a little bling there and we'll be all set. Okay, I can go ahead and layer these because this is just glue here. Doesn't take a lot. Does not take a lot of liquid glue. The reason that I use liquid glue instead of snail here is because that gives me an opportunity to kind of straighten it out after I get it stuck down. So there's that piece there. And now I am going to stamp the inside of my card. So I am going to put this on and just kind of eyeball it. So when I put this in here, I want to make sure that I get my sentiment right here so I can kind of go, so that I can kind of cover it up with that square, so to speak, right? So I'm going to ink that up. Celebrate your day, because yeah. But sweet wishes or sprinkled with love would be super cute too. And that looked pretty centered to me. So I'm going to go ahead and just wing it. What do you think, guys? Pretty good. Okay. Yep, and it's going to be covered by that square. Good. Here is a super important tip for you to know. When you go, we can glue this while we're talking. When you go to stick your cupcake panel part on, ink finger, what am I doing today? Sorry, guys. It has been a snow day. I have had nothing but children. You guys saw the shining, right? I'm feeling it. I really am. Look, there's my ink. Okay. Oh, it's crazy here. All right. This is not going anywhere. But you guys are going to get the idea. Okay. When you go to put this panel on, you want to make sure that you're going to pop it up on dimensionals. See, it's up on a dimensional here. But you want to make sure that you don't put dimensionals all over the whole thing. Because if you do, and you stick this down, nobody can open your card. Yeah, I know. You don't believe me that that could ever happen, but you got to trust that it can. So I'm going to pull a couple of dimensionals off here. And this is how it's going to look. So I'm going to go kind of on this side, right? So I'm going to put them on this side here. So it has been so crazy in Chicago with this polar vortex. Who else is completely sick of hearing about it? I am. I've done more laundry, and I tell you, my kids, I have 4 of them, if you did not know that already, and it's like a food factory here. All I have done is cook and do dishes, cook and do dishes. Oh wait, and then laundry. Okay, this is going to go right about here. Stick it down. It doesn't go over. See, I didn't add any dimensionals to the side at all, and it closes, and then that would be done. That would be done if I were to ever give that to anybody, but because I got ink all over it as I was showing you, I'm not going to. So that goes over there. But I do want to show you something else that you can do. This is the beginning. Remember when we were at the beginning? This is our 11 by 4 1/4 piece right here. Watch this. So I'm still going to do the same thing to get started. I'm going to score it. Awesome. Good. Now, instead of cutting it at 2 3/4, I am going to score it. Okay. So we know right now that this piece is 5 1/2, right? Because it's half. So we can't go more than 2 3/4 because then it would be too big for 5 1/2, right? Because 2 3/4, okay, you get the math. So on your trimmer, you have 2 blades. This dark one is your cutting blade, and that's what we would use to slice off the other piece. I'm going to hide that way up there. This one down here, this light colored one, is my scoring blade. That's the one I'm going to use right now. So I'm going to do the same thing. Stick it in there, 2 3/4. Actually, why don't we just do 2 1/2 this time? Because we're just, you'll see what we're going to do. Nah, we'll do 2 3/4. I don't know. I'm feeling crazy. All right, 2 3/4, and I'm going to score it with my scoring blade. See that little mark? And it's going to fold right there. Ta-da! Look at that. What is that? Do you know? I'm going to take a circle punch. One that I happen to have laying here is my, just moved my glasses, 1 1/2 inch, but it really doesn't matter which one you use. And I'm going to go halfway, centered halfway like that. Punch it out, throw that piece on the floor. It can be there with my card, keep it company. And now, when I fold this in, I can glue or use tape, but I'm just going to do liquid glue just so that I can show you, right just along this edge. I left it open. See, it does not take long for this glue to like make a little seal. There you go. There. And there. Now, normally when I do this, I would probably use score tape, but I don't have it handy, and I don't want to run and get it because I'm lazy. All right, there you go. And I would squeeze that closed. And then what I would do is, if I really love this person, I can finish the rest of the card exactly the same way, right? I could just put the layers here and the cupcake and the celebrate your day or sprinkled with love. But let me see if I have a card here. Oh, there's one of my Christmas cards. Did you get one of these from me? If you got one, you really should look at it because on the back it had a special just for my Christmas present. Okay, anyway, it would be like a gift card. If I were going to take a gift card, I could just stick it right in there like that. And then when they open their birthday card, oh, here's a little gift card. And I would even probably loop a little ribbon on there with a glue dot so that they would know to pull it out. But you wouldn't even have to because it's big enough that it would show. And they would see that. So isn't that cute? So if you did go with 2 1/2 instead of 2 3/4 like I did, it wouldn't come right up against your hinge right there, and that probably would be a little smarter. So I shouldn't have fought the urge. But anyway, my gift card would stay right in there. Same kind of thing. Okay. All right. So you are all set. I'm going to hold on to this sample instead because the other one I already threw on the floor. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I really would love to be yours. Don't forget to place your orders, though, during celebration because that's the only time you're going to be able to get this stamp set. Okay, everything else is going to be available for a little while, but that stamp set is going to go away. So be sure that you get in there soon. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great day, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.